things. So typically, what are these fields? We keep see students and people who are hearing it generally feel influencer marketing, content, OTT platforms, and what is this world of all of this tech? Because for a consumer, it is purely a advertisement which we see on the newspaper or on YouTube or on Facebook. But there is a lot of science which I can see is going on. So probably you can throw some light, what is this code? And you mentioned about ambitious brands and digital first brands and content. So probably you can help us to understand these concepts also.
So, okay, let me explain the ambitious digital brands as I see it. Right? So let's look at the whole landscape and how it's changed. If back in the day, it was all about, so there were multiple factories where products were made, packaged, and then there was a whole distribution supply chain pipeline, right, that came in. And which is why the entry barrier for a lot of brands became that much higher. So, for example, if you wanted to launch your own cosmetic brand 10 years ago, you would have had to find a setup, you would have had to get a factory, then you would have had to figure out who is going to stock it. So you need as many salespeople on ground to do the deals with the shops and things, so on and so forth. Mm-hmm. What the internet has changed entirely is, with e-commerce coming in, that distribution lens has been taken off entirely, right? So what was Unilever's biggest play is the fact that, hey, we have a great distribution pipeline. Today, if I launch a soap, it will reach every house in India. But that same thing I can do today with Amazon. If I launch a soap in my house, I can. So suddenly, the minute you took the distribution pipeline out and kind of democratized it, everybody now can get into this. So consumer brands, the number of new age consumer brands that are coming up are that much higher, right? Consumers are changing, which means all of the brands need to start looking at it from that lens. And that is where we define what we call an ambitious brand. There are two kinds of brands that exist. One who will sit on a throne of being a leader, has been a leader at some point in time, refusing to change, right? For me, a case in point is Kodak. Kodak should have made Instagram. Kodak should have bought Instagram, not Facebook. So you were in the photography business. You were making it all happen. You had access to photographs. Why did you not do this? The fact that they did not make that change makes them a non-ambitious brand for me. The brands that have made this happen, and more, like for me, Unilever is an ambitious brand because Unilever has pivoted, looked ahead, started building. They knew that e-commerce is the future. They moved there. Makeup, for example, they realized with Lakme, when we were working with them, they were happy to take this challenge on saying, Indians don't buy makeup online. How do we change that? What is it that we can do to change? And they worked with us very closely. So brands that are looking to, are willing to change, there are some brands which assume that we are leaders, why should we change? I think it's very, very important for you. And it's this whole upskilling, as we spoke of, right, is so important no matter if you're a human being or a brand. So it's because otherwise you will always stay here and somebody will go above you. So the need for upskilling, and that's where we define ambitious brands. So we, for example, call ourselves modern partners to ambitious brands. So we work with brands that are willing to take this chance. So, and there is not, but when I say take this chance, because there are chances that you will fail. Not everything you do will be right, but it's okay. And that's what we keep saying, right? We love mistakes because when you make mistakes, you're doing something new. Because otherwise, you're only replicating what somebody else has done and you'll never get to the top. So that's something that what we call as ambitious brands. Now, ambitious brands take multiple routes. So they're okay to take a bet on, it's almost that they're taking a bet on the future, right? So let's take Netflix's example. They took the bet on the future where bandwidth was not high enough for people to stream video on their thing, but they went ahead and built it. Because if you asked anybody in 1999, hey, would you subscribe to a Netflix where I could watch a video, etc., you would have said no chance. Like, because I remember in 99, I used to download torrents. And I remember putting a movie for download and waiting 4 days for the movie to download. Right? So that was our speed. And Netflix did, but that was an ambitious brand. They took a huge bet into the future.
Yeah.
What SpaceX is doing today is an ambitious. I mean, that's more than ambitious. That is actual moonshot, right? We call what we call moonshot project. So if you ask me what is an ambitious brand, for me, any ambitious person or a brand is somebody who's willing to take a risk of something that's outside their comfort zone.
Okay.
And willing to, because if you don't step out of your comfort zone, that zone will fall to. So that's the key thing there.
Okay. And then what is this world of content marketing, influencer? How does this piece put together for a brand? And then what exactly you all do, or so then it emerges the kind of jobs which happen, in that industry.
So this is actually the evolution of advertising also, right? Back in the day, you had one TV channel and you would watch it, and then ads would come in. Why is the Cadbury ad so iconic, or why is the really old, like it's nostalgia for all of us, right? Quiz questions and stuff, Limca and thumbs up
Bajaj,
and
Limca,
yeah,
of course.
Because the point is you didn't have the skip ad option.
Yes.
When you watched it, you watched the whole ad. It was nice and it's stuck. I'm not denying the fact that it was a great ad, but it's also the fact that you saw it as many times. We didn't have the choice of that. Now, today, we are not just bombarded with options in terms of channels to watch on TV, but on OTT. For example, I don't end up watching ads because I have YouTube Premium. I don't see ads. And I realize as an advertiser, it's really bad for me, but I just don't want to see ads. So nobody is anymore going and finding these ads. So advertising had to evolve, right? Which means it's like nobody wakes up in the morning and says that, hey, let me go look at this ad. People are going to wake up in the morning and say, let me go look at this content. Sometimes that content will happen to be an ad. So how do we, so that is where content marketing came into be. So advertising's evolution was, we would make commercials targeted to this. Now, if the audience has moved away from not just this to other things, like for example, you're looking up on YouTube. Now, if what you are doing right now, right? So this could be an ad in itself. It's a series of, it's a content series that you're doing with people in the market, etc., where you're having conversations. Everybody who's watching, I am willingly coming here as a student to listen to what two people are talking. Inadvertently, it also advertises you and your company as a larger aspect. So it's saying, hey, I heard this here from this person. Let me go to that person for this expertise. So that's exactly what content marketing is. Content marketing is so the days of push advertising is over. It's almost like pull advertising. So the content marketing is ads that you go searching for. You will wake up in the morning and say, let me go look at, I really like this song. I want to see the music video. The music video happens to be a Pepsi song, right? So that becomes content marketing. Influencers, for me, is again the evolution of what media buying was, right? There was a point when you would buy Times of India and there would be ads in the newspaper because it came to you. Today, you're not buying the newspaper. You're following a lot of people on social platforms. And when they say something that matters to you, so suddenly they have the power of distribution. So they have the power of people who follow them for a certain piece of advice. So for me, if I look at influencers for me are distribution networks. I can identify who I'm looking for. Like for example, if I'm a sports person, if I'm a sports brand, I will find somebody that a lot of sports-oriented people are following, right? So I will identify that person who's an influencer in this aspect. It could be a cricketer, it could be a sportsman, or it could be Harsha Bhogle, who's a commentator, or Gaurav Kapoor is a commentator, right? Now, it can go into any aspect of it. They all have a certain level of following, and then when they tell you something, it's influencer marketing is not a new thing. It has existed since the beginning. Like Michael Jordan is an influencer, right? When he made Air Jordans and Air Jordans sold out, not just because it was a great shoe, it was because it's Michael Jordan. Like I want to wear what he was wearing. So is that influencer marketing? It's absolutely influencer marketing. No two ways about it. Today, the only thing is there are about 400x more influencers. Because everybody is a creator. Everybody has this device called the phone where suddenly everybody's become a creator, and each platform has its own influencer.
Its own set of influencers. And then how